WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I'm your host, Fearon Derry, alongside Lucas the intern.
How you guys doing today?
Fantastic, as always. And Nick Cataldi.
Hey.
Pushing buttons, turning dials, keeping things together for us here, as he usually does.
I'm a together kind of a guy.
You're a together kind of a guy.
Whatever that means.
I have no idea either. One thing I do know, though, an interesting bit of news in the wrestling world if you're a Philadelphian or a suburbanite like I am.
Me too.
WWE Smackdown, they had the taping this past Thursday, and we've got... Lucas and I have an exclusive... Well, I shouldn't say exclusive, because there were 15,000, 16,000 other people there, but we've got the look at what went on behind the scenes, what went on that didn't get shown on SmackDown last night, including a display of a great deal of Booker T's infamous signature move, for lack of a well.
If you can dig it, sucker. Yeah.
Indeed, as following the 15-man tag team match that was booked for SmackDown. So a lot to talk about with the 15-year celebration of SmackDown, their 790th episode. How's about that? Just some various statistics that are there to talk about. Of course, the breast cancer stuff that's going on with the Susan G. Komen, the host of the Today Show this past Monday, and how they were not exactly well-received. Well, 2/3 of them were not well-received by the Barclays Center. Joan London, however, she was just 100% class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing that WWE has done since taking over this fight along with the Susan G. Komen Foundation, 3 years ago now? Yeah, I think it was, September 2011, I think is when they started that. Yeah, Night of Champions 2011 was the first Cena Rise Above Cancer T-shirt.
I really want to get that T-shirt, though.
Very infamous, to say the least.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of WWE, they're sending they just sent a text as we speak. Celebrate the biggest week in WWE history by getting your WrestleMania 31 travel package now available at WrestleManiaTravel.com. Now I'm good.
You worked the plug into the show. Unadvertised. Great.
Well, it was. They advertised it via text on my phone.
No, I mean, I don't know where I was going with it.
Unplanned, I guess. Extemporaneous, maybe.
Yeah, unadvertised as in, we unadvertised it.
Yes, but no, we have slightly sooner fish to fry. As it was also announced on Tuesday, the long-rumored announcement has finally been confirmed. We've been waiting for this since, mid-April?
Wait. I'll count it down. You bring the news. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and...
Yes, the Royal Rumble will be at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia Sunday, January 25th, 2015. And it'll be here, and it'll actually be 11 years to the day that the Rumble was last year.
Yeah, and last time, beep, won the Rumble at number 1. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, going first to the Stevie Richards. What an accomplishment.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
You can get to meet him at Sinomania coming up in a little bit. We'll talk about that a little bit later, though. No, I think at this point we're past the point of censorship with that.
Who even started that thing that Stevie Richards won the Rumble? Who really started that whole joke?
I have no idea. I mean, that's like asking who started the Picard meme or who started. I mean, there's there are so many potential.
Like, he wasn't even
facets
in
to
the
it.
Rumble. That was the funniest thing. We were watching that on Sunday.
In the 04 Rumble?
Yeah, I don't think Richards was in the Rumble.
I don't know. I'll have to. I thought he was, but I'm sure. I don't know. My memory is a little fuzzy, even though I do remember being at it. But that was 11 years ago. There was a lot of. There's a lot that's gone on in the last 11 years, to say the least.
Well, while you're looking that up, why don't we why don't I go over some of the things that we experienced at SmackDown?
In your own words, or
in my own words?
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a great experience for me being at the SmackDown. I've never been to a taping. You know, I've been to house shows. I've never been to a, I guess you could say, televised event of WWE besides Money in the Bank. Like, I've never been to a televised event of SmackDown. You know, we had a couple of dark matches. Tyler Breeze pinning Xavier Woods. You know, Fearon pointed out he definitely popped for a sign. It had one. When Ziggler came out, because they were filming main event, it was a sign that said "Future X Mrs. Ziggler," which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was entertained by that.
You know, Ziggler posed with the crowd. People were taking pictures. And then there's another dark match, Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn. And, again, I've been watching NXT. These guys have a lot of talent. You know, I always, just pop the most for Red Arrow. Yeah, Adrian Neville's finishing move. Because it's just it's like he's standing and doing, like a shooting
It looks like a
star
gymnastics routine
it's a shooting star
in the ring.
press corkscrew flip. Like, it's insane. But
So insane you can't describe it.
yeah.
You try and it just makes you sound, well, the proverbial you, not you specifically you,
And you
sounds
just,
foolish.
As soon as you know the main event gets over, and then before SmackDown starts, you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen," and Heyman comes out. Just a major pop from the crowd.
Well, of course, because of Heyman,
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's roots in Philadelphia, of course,
My
ECW.
name is Paul Heyman, as we all followed along with him, and he made a promo about how he looks toward the future. Sure, I was the greatest general manager of SmackDown that the show had ever seen, and but I only look towards the future, even though if I look towards the past, you would say that the greatest era of SmackDown was when it was under the management of SmackDown's Paul Heyman's SmackDown, my bad. And he does this great promo and ends it with going, "And that, my friends, is extreme." And that gets a huge pop from the crowd as well.
Yeah, I mean, he found a way to acknowledge the crowd without kind of losing the booing that he would normally get, because it's one of those deals. Even when CM Punk was a heel, whenever he went to Chicago, he'd get cheered. Even when Bret Hart was a heel, he would get cheered when he was in Canada.
Even CM Punk got cheered everywhere, even when he was a heel. There was a bunch of people. I think there were cheers at certain places. Boos outweighed the cheers, but for the most part, people loved CM Punk either way, because he was a great character, even if he was heel or face.
Definitely. Well, for those who missed SmackDown last night, there were a lot of returns from different general managers of the past. Obviously, Teddy Long made an appearance. He was the longest tenured SmackDown general manager.
Holla holla. And
many tag matches have been booked. Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis,
and Teddy,
making an appearance.
And I think Teddy and John recapped they reignited their rivalry from, I believe, 2012. There was a people power chant. They did some 999 chants.
Yeah, they got the mentions of that out of the way really quickly, really early.
And there was probably a huge pop for Teddy Long, and it was great. And the cool thing was I didn't know it. I completely slipped my mind to think that he would have come back. Especially I thought he would, but at the same time I thought they fired him. I forgot about that.
They brought him back for a while.
Instantly hearing his music, I just went crazy. And there's a Teddy chant, and of course he booked a tag match. Now, Fearon, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Johnny Ace.
Yeah, now this is directly from the notes that I was taking into my phone. I just copied them over to paper. So
I can't, because I can't do this because I can't. Let's see.
So yeah, he initially booked a tag match. John Laurinaitis did of The Miz and Cesaro against Sheamus and Jack Swagger.
And then Teddy makes it.
It was literally anything you can do, I can do better or bigger.
How about we do it this way? I do Teddy, you do Johnny.
You could have really found a better way to phrase that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Teddy makes it Bo, Miz, and Cesaro versus Henry, Sheamus,
Mark Henry,
and Swagger.
Sheamus, and John Swagger.
Stop it.
You've ruined this enough.
Anyway, he makes
so it goes from a standard tag team to a 6-man tag to an 8-man tag.
To then a 15-man tag team match. How is it 15? Because they added 2 of the little guys from the roster. Because PC doesn't exist anymore.
No. So you have Team Teddy and Team Johnny. Winning team apparently is represented by whoever the greatest general manager of all time.
And then she's just at the end, and 70 McMahon was out there too. We forgot to mention, just out of the blue, and Miss TV's hosting this. It was Ambrose and Cena in a face-to-face.
Yeah. So did you like the recaps that they had of past SmackDown moments? Now, I know you weren't. I mean, some of them you were knee-high to a grasshopper and didn't exactly remember. Like the very first SmackDown, you were still in diapers.
Well, I saw the moments, and this morning I actually turned on the network and I was watching the first episode of SmackDown, so I did see it, and I did find it very entertaining. I mean, you had I don't know if it was the in-ring debut, but they said it was the debut of Chris Jericho versus the Road Dogg. You had Mankind and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon won that one. You had, Test. Steph said yes to Test in that episode, I guess.
The marriage proposal.
Yeah. And you also had... trying to think who else. Forgive me for a moment. I've seemed to have lost track of where. As always.
It occurs on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The first match was darn it.
Let's skate on past it.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, what was there a moment that you saw of those that jumped out at you? Something that you found to be, not that you necessarily were reliving it, but something that you just saw and went, "That is awesome."
The price check on Jackass.
Yes.
That and
December 13th, 2001, Booker T and Steve Austin essentially playing a brawling edition of Supermarket Sweep.
I just really have to say, though, it's like, how do you go up to a supermarket and say, "Hey, hi, we're from the WWE. Don't get scared. We want to have Booker T and I wonder how many supermarkets too. It's like we want Booker T and Steve Austin to make a mess of the supermarket. We'll pay for it." Oh, you said no? Okay, we're gonna go to the one in Burbanks then. Well, I think they said yes to that. It's just like, how do they set that up? That's what I want to know.
Well, probably they found the store where a manager of the supermarket is a wrestling fan, and they're like, "Wait, you want Austin and Booker T to brawl in my supermarket?" Hell yeah. That's more than likely how that went down.
I love though he's like when I think my favorite part though is Austin like downed a thing of milk and he's like, "Thanks, Book," just pops him right. I have to look it up on YouTube now. I really do need to see that whole segment.
Now after the 15-man tag, now this is something that was not seen by the televised crowd. This was something exclusively for the live crowd. But Booker T, who was on commentary, he was another return, decided to get the winning team in to all do celebratory spinaroonies.
Yeah, which...
So you had Mark Henry attempt the world's strongest spinaroonie. You had the Usos, both Jimmy and Jay, doing one in tandem. You had Los Matadores and Torito kind of doing a synchronized, choreographed spinaroonie type deal.
They actually had they even had Michael Cole and JBL come out, which I thought was hysterical because they couldn't spinaroonie for crap.
That's probably a bit of the pot calling the kettle black.
No, I will tell you this because...
You can do it. All right.
I can do...
This may have to be exclusive video to put up on the Pro Wrestling Weekly YouTube page.
I was at...
Lucas the intern doing a spinaroonie, or at least feebly attempting it.
I was at soccer practice, and they had me put in goal the whole time because I play goalie for some of the games. and Coach wanted me to work on goalie skills, and I was good, but like.
Did you try a kick save with a spinaroony? Is that where this is going?
No, I did not.
Oh.
We were doing a drill where it's like.
Well, now I'm disappointed.
There's 4. I wish I would have, but you'll be proud of me. There are 4 balls set up in a little thing. You have to run around the cone, kick 1 ball, run around the other cone, kick another ball, run around the 3rd cone, kick 1 ball, and then run around the 4th. And like, I saved 1 left, right, front, and center. And then after that, I was just like, when I saved each one, I did like the Booker T hand, like the
hand gesture.
Yeah, and I was just like, and then as soon as I saved the last one, I just got on the ground, did the spinaroony, and my coach was dying because he watched wrestling in late '90s, early 2000s, and he was just laughing his butt off. But then another thing happened was I got hit in the chest with a ball because I didn't put my hands up in time, and I just flare flopped. I was bored, and it was fun. And
well, that's all the time we have for our show today, folks. Lucas just enlightening us all. No. Although we are coming up against a break, and I want to get to Nick on the other side. And
No. Make that clear. Who you're talking?
Nick from California.
Right.
As opposed to Nick in the studio here.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Duly noted. Okay, so let's take care of that, and then we'll come back and figure out what other insanity there is here. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I know, but it's now available on the network for
just $3.99. How much?
No, that'll put Vince in the poorhouse. His wife will never make Senate this time.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
Oh, just like the other 2 times?
The 3rd time's a charm. You shut up.
Is the 3rd time really the charm, Vince?
You obviously didn't listen to Vince before, did you? You've said plenty today already, Lucas. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly. At least I think it is. With Lucas attempting to reclaim the show or claim it the first time. I don't know.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take I forget the rest of the line. Damn it. Yeah, thank you.
Mike Samsel with a cameo.
Our freedom.
Wow. Crap, he's used
Samsel
up his one for the year.
Samsel lives. Yes.
No, he usually pops in the studio maybe once or twice a year to chat a little wrestling, and I have a hunch that he'll be doing more so as we get a little bit closer to the Royal Rumble times.
Exactly. It's not WrestleMania season.
It's not WrestleMania season. It's not Royal Rumble season.
Samsel made an appearance.
I'm the biggest fraud wrestling fan. Like, I'm such a fraud. I just bail when...
You're saying that because you're like 6'3".
I show up to the party when sports get boring. Like, in that down, like, January to, like, March area, right before the NBA and the NHL make the playoffs and, like, baseball's kind of interesting again, I become a Fugazi wrestling fan.
Because that's when wrestling gets interesting again. It's when people are really paying attention.
In theory, yeah, that road to wrestling, you just stick your thumb out and hitchhike
exactly.
on the road to WrestleMania.
Exactly. I just hop on the bandwagon. I'm in from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania.
And then April 10, you're out.
I'm out before taxes are due.
Take your Extreme Rules and shine them up real nice, turn them sideways, and you know the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's usually about how that goes.
And shove it straight.
Hey.
I know. I was going to stop it. Don't want to hit the dump button. We're not going to use it. We will not use it.
Settle down, intern.
You can't. Yes, you can, actually. Never mind.
Yep, sure can.
This has gotten out of hand.
You're going to get Vince back in the, you're fired. No.
Not hired.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could fire him, but he's not hired.
He's
not
really
even getting paid. What are you talking about?
Your services are no longer required. See, it's too wordy. That's too much there. You know what? I'm gonna cut off my words and get to Nick from California, who's been hanging on. Nick, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was nice to see Teddy on and John Leonidas. Oh God! But I got a question. Do you think that Dean Ambrose is gonna possibly be able to take possibly see a match in the future for him taking the belt from Brock Lesnar?
Well, Lesnar is a whole nother. That's a whole issue in itself. I mean, I don't even think he is going to be scheduled for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I mean, we're a couple of weeks away from it, 15 days to be exact, and we only have 2 matches set up for the card, and one is obviously advantageous to Seth Rollins as he gets to kind of pick the scraps of what's left between John Cena and Dean Ambrose with their contract on a pole match.
I don't know which is worse, though, a PO'd Cena or a PO'd Ambrose. That's because Cena turns into Super Cena, but Ambrose, on the other hand, is just like, I'm going to eat your face. You know.
He's just very volatile.
Yeah, very, very scary.
I think John Cena's getting ready to. I mean, this is my opinion. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like John Cena's looking to go bad sometime in the future. I don't know.
People have been wanting, wishing, watching, waiting, and hoping for that for the last maybe 5 years, and I'm not going to say it's not going to happen because never say never, but I would put it at a 0.0001% chance of happening just because of the merchandise that would be lost. For all those kids who root for John Cena, for him to all of a sudden turn his back on them, there's a reason they come out with a new John Cena t-shirt every 5 to 6 months. It's because they know that pretty much every kid wrestling fan between the ages of 5 and 11 are, Mommy, can we get this new shirt? And, of course, they have to. It seems like they feel obligated to make their kid happy. So, yeah, they pluck down the $30 for a shirt, and WWE makes that more money. That's the same cost as 3 network subscriptions.
Let me just because you've been saying that you're going to lose the little kids in merchandise. Think about it this way. I mean, there are a lot of kid wrestling fans, sure, but maybe if he turns heel, you might get a lot of people there's a lot of adult grown people that get the Cena shirts. Maybe there'll be a lot more of those, that demographic getting the t-shirts and stuff.
I really don't think. I think
think about it this way. You don't see a lot of little kids wearing CM Punk t-shirts.
I guess. I don't know. Thanks so much for the call, Nick. Always appreciate it. That's a topic that'll definitely go back and forth. I don't know. I think even if John Cena kind of turns his back on the fans, I don't think that necessarily you're going to see Mike Samsel, for example, go out and buy a John Cena t-shirt.
Yeah, and you'll see Extreme Kyle go, I knew he was a sellout.
Yeah, it's something that's highly unlikely.
Miss you, buddy.
Very high, highly unlikely in the words of the late great Gorilla Monsoon. All right, let's get back to the line here. Oh wait, are we
lazy backstabbing and disrespect? I will buy that John Cena shirt.
As opposed to hustle, loyalty, and respect. I'm sure they're printing it up in Titan Towers as we speak. All right, we're gonna go from Titan Towers to. I don't know, to Big Ben? I don't know. It's the only tower I can think of at the moment as we go across the pond to bring in the one, the only, from England, the Great Harry Barnett. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
Just a matter of days ago, you saw one great one finally come back, and, well, it's Saturday. It's, midday over there in Philadelphia, and finally this great one has come back to your show.
To the longest running pro wrestling radio. You know the rest.
Finally, the great one has nagged his way back onto the phone lines of WBCB.
Intern, why are you trying to make my callers angry?
Because it's Barnett.
It gets him more airtime.
Yeah, what he said. Book the intern.
Because that's what you need is more airtime.
Who, me or Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas needs more airtime. Like I need a trip to the tanning bed. Yeah, let that one sink in. I know it takes a little bit. Yeah, you're gonna sandbag it. I think I'm also waiting for the delay for Samsel to start cracking up in the back once he hears it. That's probably more of what it is. Unless he has it muted back there, which is probably smart on his part.
So, Ron, I've got something for you.
Alrighty, go for it.
Well, both you and young Lucas there, you're familiar with the fact that last week OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling down in Louisville, had Saturday night, whatever their Saturday night pay-per-view-ish thing that went down. Cliff Compton obviously won the OVW title, but someone was there with him. And obviously there's been reports, that Mr. Punk was there. And he was told, people were told not to bother him. There were, 3 people that spoke to him. And I actually find this quite funny because there's now a report that's come out today that I found just as I was waiting on hold to talk to you. And I see that they're trying to actually defend it so that Punk, they weren't told not to bother Punk. He was just there catching up with Danny Davis.
Just having a chat with old friends.
Yeah. Much like I'm doing right here and bothering Lucas because,
Catch up with an old friend. How you doing?
Talked in a while.
Yeah, let's go get a pint.
I think you got a ways to go for that, mate.
Okay, I'll get a root beer. You can go wherever. I don't know.
I'm straight edge. Anyway.
There you go. There we go. So we'll all share a
Sprite
Sprite then.
Yeah, I'll get a root beer. It's good for you.
What?
He's saying he'll get a root beer then. Apparently it's I don't know. Apparently Barks for all.
Harry, I actually want to know because you don't like CM Punk that much. I wanted to know. Did you see that thing on Pro Wrestling Weekly? It was the CM Punk's the parody of the lyrics.
You mean the WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page?
Yes, that. They
you gotta identify these things.
They parodied Cult of Personality. Did you see that post?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, it was great. I actually thought it was funny. Because, as much as I love Punk, he really just... I understand he doesn't want to be bothered, but it's like, you're famous. It's
I know, it comes with the territory.
Yeah, you're cross to bear, even if he is an atheist,
There's that, and the guy is, multi-time former world champion. He at one point was the top guy, someone who has had all these years of experience.
And he's also
OVW at one point was the feeder system to both WWE and TNA, so...
Yeah.
Come on, if you're there, you can at least give these guys a couple of minutes of your time. I think the best that they've got below Punk or their actual trainers is Cliff Compton.
Well, yeah.
They haven't got anyone else with real experience other than the training staff. So come on, man. A moment of your time is not much.
Well, apparently in his case, it's become a value akin to platinum.
It's like, and plus the fact that he's on, he makes appearances on, Nerdist with Chris Hardwick. People are going to know you're still around. You can't just, make all these,
Well, he wants to be around, but he doesn't. He's trying to turn the page on the wrestling aspect of his career.
Well, yeah, but that's... I understand that, but you're not wrestling anymore. But people still want to remember you as, CM Punk. I really feel like even if people forgot about that and wanted to still approach him, I feel like he'd still be a bit
Maybe this is akin to what The Rock's publicists were trying to do when he first left and slowly transition him from The Rock to Dwayne The Rock Johnson to Dwayne Johnson. Maybe this is a slow transition from CM Punk to Phil the Punk Brooks to Phil Brooks. I don't know.
And then he comes back as CM Punk to do a WrestleMania once every... Headline WrestleMania for no reason, right? Not that I'm knocking The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I love The Rock, but,
Buy your tickets now. WrestleMania 35. No.
WrestleMania 50. It was all a work after all.
And that's when Andy Kaufman comes back.
There's probably more chance of the Rosebud that got chokeslammed by Kane on SmackDown making it to WrestleMania than there is CM Punk ever coming back.
Yeah.
Accurate.
I actually made an observation. It's the fact that I hope Rose is in the Rumble because I hope if he tries to get eliminated, his Rosebuds catch him from getting eliminated in the Rumble. That would be great.
It would be a fun moment.
That'll be the Kofi Kingston spot for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the Rosebuds would be keeping Kofi Kingston. Well, I don't know. He could kind of do like a crowd surfing thing into the Rosebuds and then go from there into the... There are so many possibilities, and Kofi has said he doesn't think of these well in advance. He just kind of shows up that day and says, all right, maybe I'll do this time. And it ends up working great.
Oh yeah,
he's got to improve though from the announcer chair pogo stick that he did last year.
No, last year
was that 2 years ago?
Last 2 years. Last year he got thrown to the the barricades.
Oh, that's right. He ran the barricade. Okay,
that guy is like, if he only had Mike charisma, he would probably be like, he'd probably get a way better.
He'd be
push.
upper mid card.
Yeah, probably. He'd be going up against the likes of Dolph Ziggler. You know.
I mean, hasn't already. I'm sure he has over the last couple of years.
He's basically like, he's on the house shows most of the time with that super athletic friends group he's with. I think that's the name of it, right? With him, Big E, and Xavier Woods.
Yeah, that really hasn't gone too far, has it?
It's like real.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, I haven't seen Big E except
kind of like TNA.
Yeah, I saw Big E at the house show in Atlantic City, and I'm just like, wow, I haven't seen him in like months.
That was another of Vince's toys that he got tired of playing with and went back to the John Cena toy. Sorry, was that a bit much?
Are you still here, Harry?
I am still here, yeah.
Oh, thank God. I've never been more happy to see that he's still on the line.
I never thought I'd see a day that Lucas was actually grateful to have me still here.
Yeah, make a note of this show.
Oh, milestone.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, there's just, I don't know, there's just this kind of happy giddiness upon finding out about the Royal Rumble coming to Philadelphia.
I've got my charisma, and it's actually a little bit more controlled than usual. A little bit.
You sound very calm, as if you haven't been given your afternoon sugar, like you'll sleep on time tonight.
I have to work with the football team for the homecoming game tonight, so that might not be the case.
Which, of course, would be Pennsbury and Pembridge, which you can hear right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Always plugs it somehow. He finds a way. He is journalist. He's broadcast Houdini. That's what he is.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, for those in the Pennsbury listening area, I'm just providing information. That's what I do as a broadcast journalist.
Of course.
And we'll. Yeah, speaking of information, I think one of the bits of information is what helps keep us on the air, and that would be that bit of an ad break. So, Harry, thanks for joining the program. Always appreciate it. Unfortunately, I'm late for an ad break, so I'm going to take care of that. No questionarium here.
Oh.
No.
It can never be repaid.
It's Guru Larry's deal. But we'll be back. We've got news and notes. Oh, gosh. Let me quick tell you. Well, George's Cards and Collectibles right now. If you head over to the Neshaminy Mall, you only got about 20 minutes. X-Pac, Sean Waltman is over there right until the end of the show. Plus, for the Eagles football fans, this coming Monday, Eagles kicker Cody Parkey and Eagles punter Donnie Jones will appear for autographs at the George's in the Oxford Valley Mall. That's this Monday night, October 13th from 7 to 8 p.m. Just enough time to get home for Raw, of course. And just added, a week from tomorrow, Sunday, October 19th, former WWE superstar Gangrel will be appearing at George's Cards and Collectibles in the Neshaminy location from 1 until 3 p.m. Check out George's 3 locations for all of your sports and wrestling memorabilia needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Oxford Valley Mall in the Sears Court on the lower level, and their newest location in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information on the upcoming Gangrel appearance, you can give George's a call at 215-943-2475 or visit them on the web at georgescollectibles.com. And I'll tell you about the other thing on the other side. For now, though, we better take that ad break. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, October 11. On this date in 1999, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Biloxi, Mississippi. In the main event, Bret Hart and Chris Benoit defeated Lex Luger and Rick Steiner by disqualification. On this date in 2004, WWE Monday Night Raw aired from Manchester, England. In the main event, Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, and Edge defeated Batista, Ric Flair, and Triple H in a 6-man tag team match. On this date in 2012, TNA Impact aired live from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Jeff Hardy defeated Bobby Roode by disqualification. This has been Today in Wrestling History, October 11.
You are listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Dairy.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Dairy here with you alongside... Where the hell did Lucas go?
He quit.
Yeah, I
He said
can't.
he's had enough.
He's had enough. He's
going
tapping
on
out.
his own. He's hitting the big time.
He's got his own spin-off.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah.
And Nick Cataldi here as well.
Yay.
Pushing buttons, turning dials. Speaking of which, I'm going to have you push a button here in a second because I mentioned right before the break, George's Cards and Collectibles. Now till 1 o'clock. Of course, X-Pac is over there, Sean Waltman. So you want to check that out at the Neshaminy Mall. But, and I told you about the other appearances coming up. The Eagles kicker Cody Parkey and Eagles punter Donnie Jones. That's this Monday. Gangrel a week from tomorrow. But as if all that wasn't enough. Oh, yes. We also have Sinomania 8. That's right. Just let it soak in a little bit. Sinomania 8 coming to Bucks County Technical High School, 610 Worcester Road, Fairless Hills, PA. The announced guests so far, former WWF Tag Team Champions Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. You have the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott, former WWE superstar previously known as Alberto Del Rio, King Kong Bundy, Stevie Richards, also Sid Vicious, or Psycho Sid, depending on how you want to look at it. Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, the Nasty Boys. Kurt Hawkins, the Queen of Extreme Francine. Ricardo Rodriguez, ECW's Sabu. Longtime WWE announcer Howard Finkel. And just announced this week, the Boogeyman and the Blue Meanie. All this at Sinomania 8 coming to the Bucks County Technical High School, 610 Worcester Road, Fairless Hills, PA. Check out more information at Sinomania.com or GeorgesCollectibles.com. This is all Sinomania 8. We're just 5 weeks away. Man, I'm looking forward to that. And speaking of the Blue Meanie, we had the chance to see him and a few others at the Monster Factory fundraiser this past Saturday. They've got another show coming up in 2 weeks, Saturday, October 25th. Featuring a Monster Mash Melee just in time for Halloween. Also on the card, new Supersonic champion Mikey Webb defends against War. Also, Benchmark Bill Daly faces one-half Vasey Rock Shaheem Ali. And in a double main event, the Factory's Finest face Cliff Compton, we just mentioned earlier, and the Blue Meanie, who we also just mentioned earlier. While Luis the Punisher Martinez defends the Monster Factory Heavyweight Championship against Billy Damiana. And of course, if you go to the Monster Factory show on October 25th at 7 o'clock and bring your ticket stub back the next night, you can watch WWE Hell in a Cell for free with some of your favorite Monster Factory wrestlers. More information available at monsterfactory.org. Oh, thought you left us.
You gotta go, you gotta go. That's
The
what I always
return of
say.
Lucas. Oh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have some trolls with Nick's friends. Yeah. Oh, no, that was a
Why you
bad
got
one.
trolls of my friends? What did they ever do to you?
I mean, you know, Nick's. I suck. I'm sorry.
You suck. That's not
Well,
nice.
speaking of trolls, did you hear about Daniel Bryan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see what I did there?
What was he? That thing with Hunter Pence, right?
Yes, he was at a Major League Baseball playoff game earlier this week, leading the San Francisco Giants fans in a yes chant prior to the Giants playoff game against the Washington Nationals this past Monday. Bryan also visited with Giants outfielder and former Phillies outfielder Hunter Pence, who also led fans in the chant.
Is he a big wrestling fan?
Apparently.
That's awesome.
Bryan was asked about the baseball fans getting into the yes movement. He said, quote, "It's crazy. I'm just some small town guy from Aberdeen, Washington, just doing my wrestling thing. You see it being done by 40,000 people and you're like, oh my gosh, it was awesome." Bryan's presence didn't help that night as the Giants fell to the Nats 4-1, but the Giants would edge the Nationals the next night 3-2 to take the series and now moves on to face the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS. Might Bryan return to help the Giants turn it into the NLC yes?
I see what you did there. It was actually, I saw an article that said that he left Hunter Pence speechless, which I thought, it's Daniel Bryant. I just hope he comes back safe and, ready to, healthy and gets I really want him to return at least in November. That's the earliest, but I want him to also be healthy so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's a very treacherous rope to travel.
And the sad thing is, like, when he comes back, the fans will be all over it, but is he going to be able to come back and, like, I fear for him not having another title shot, basically.
You think the injury is kind of he's gone the way of Drew Bledsoe to Tom Brady? Like, the injury just means he's done, that's it?
I don't mean it's done, that's it, but, like, I want him to sort of be one of those guys. Like, I want him to succeed, like sort of how John Cena and CM Punk have when it comes to championships. Like, they make great champions, and, like, they're the guy for a little bit. I want him to have a successful run, basically.
Well, apparently one person that won't be coming back to interfere in that run, The Rock. Even though we saw him come back very recently. According to TMZ, The Rock will not be wrestling at WrestleMania 31.
Really?
Yeah, TMZ's roving cameras caught up with The Rock, and when asked about, quote, coming back to WrestleMania, Rock said, "I don't think so. I might get hit in the mouth. I don't want that." Now, before you get your Brahmas burnt, keep in mind that The Rock was having some fun with the interviewer, as when he was asked about his breakfast routine, The Rock said that he eats, quote, women and midgets.
Oh, so he's just screwing around.
So I think he was just having fun, pulling the you-know-what out of the interviewer, that sort of deal.
Bravo, Dwayne. Bravo.
Maybe he was giddy about the fact that he's got another film role. He's going to be starring in a survival film.
Oh, really?
Yes. In other Rock news, our boy Dwayne will star in the film adaptation of the book Not Without Hope. The story focuses on four friends. This was like a real-life thing maybe about 5 years ago that happened. I think they were all football players who were capsized during a deep-sea fishing trip, and 3 of the 4 of them didn't survive. And the one who did is who Rock is going to be playing, Nick Schuyler, the sole survivor of the fishing trip, and he also wrote the book. But I believe the other 3 people who passed, 2 of them were NFL players, and one was a college football player. It was a pretty big story about 5 years ago.
Was this where? So, like, how did he get out? Like, were they capsized on an island, or?
Well, you'll have to either read the book or watch the movie to find out. Translation: I have no bleeping clue. I know. I broke kayfabe there. Whatever. So we mentioned the Royal Rumble. It was announced at the Smackdown tapings January 25th. Those who attended the Smackdown taping were given first opportunity to purchase Rumble tickets, and they will go on sale to the general public Saturday, November 1st at 10 a.m., so about 3 weeks away. Although, since we were there, we're already locked in, so...
yeah.
Woo! Rumble.
Whee! Woo!
Yeah.
Grades pending, right, Lucas?
Yes, I did say that earlier. Okay. Well, yeah, I did. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
All right, we only got a little bit of time left. How about birthdays? Oh, we got quite a few today, and none of them of your comedic value because there's quite a bit. 1963, former WWF superstar Sam Houston was born, half brother of Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts and brother of former WWF Women's Champion Rockin' Robin, who infamously sang I believe, America the Beautiful at WrestleMania 5. I don't know if you remember that or not. Or you may have wanted to forget it. I don't know. Anyway, Sam Houston turns 51 today. 1965, we got a couple. Sam Fatu, known in the WWF as the Tonga Kid and Tama of the tag team The Islanders, when he was paired with Haku, turns 49 today. And also, in 1965, Sam Fatu's twin brother Salofa Fatu, best known in the WWF and WWE as...
Rikishi.
That's right, the Big Quiche. He also turns 49 today. And his sons, the Usos, are doing very nicely as well, though it is not their birthday. 1967, Peter Senersha, best known in ECW, WWE, and TNA as Taz, the commentator and former wrestler, turns 47 today. Holy smokes. And 1978, Andy Douglas, one half of the former TNA tag team, The Naturals, turns 36 today. And speaking of TNA, holy smokes, their biggest pay-per-view of the year is tomorrow.
And nobody cares.
And they haven't exactly made that big of a deal about it. So, I don't know. I've got the lineup here and the predict. You know what? I even have here in my notes, F it. I don't know who half the people on this card are. But let me at least go over the... You have your own set.
Yeah,
Wait, why are you reaching over for my notes when you have your own notes in front of you? They're the same notes.
I apologize.
That gonna need a lot more observance than that to become a broadcast journalist like me. So here's your lineup.
You don't even know who half these people on the card are. That's irony at its finest.
I'm sorry.
That's because I didn't bother to find out.
I should have shut my mic off. Yes, you are.
Oh, holy hell.
I don't have the lineup in this, I don't think.
You don't?
What?
How in the blue? All right. You know what? Let me... Maybe there's one of the pages that you dropped. I don't know.
Is it this page right here?
Yeah. So it says Bound
okay.
for Glory lineup and
Okay.
F it. I don't even... Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Havoc
Fundamental is reading is fundamental. That's where I was going for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yes, Havoc and Velvet Sky.
I only know Velvet Sky.
Okay. Andy Wu and El Hijo del Pantera against the team of Novus, Jiro Kuroshio, and Yusuke Kodama.
Did they just take people from New Japan Rising for that one?
I believe New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yeah, there's some sort of a correlation in this. Manic against Minoru Tanaka.
Manic, I know. He was formerly Suicide, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. MVP against Kazuma Sakamoto.
I know MVP.
EC3 against Ryota Hama.
EC3. It's like the
Ethan Carter III.
The past. No, I know EC3 is, but the past like 3 matches have just been like TNA versus New Japan.
Interesting. Bully Ray and Devon, Team 3D, against Tommy Dreamer and Abyss. Woohoo! A match where we know all the participants.
Woohoo! Yeah.
The Great Muta and Tajiri against Sonata and James Storm.
Tajiri?
Tajiri, Todgers, yeah.
Really? I know Sonata and James Storm. I'm familiar with Sonata.
Oh, goodness. And Samoa Joe defending the X Division title against Low Ki and Kaz Hayashi.
I know who Low Ki is. He was he
was Kaval in WWE for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And as I'm reading this, John from Northeast Philly contributing to the Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page. We mentioned Sid earlier as part of Sign-A-Mania coming up. And, of course, for his contribution to Wrestle Craptober, he has a quote, an infamous quote from Sid. I'm sure you remember this. You know and I know you're only half the man that I am.
And I have half the brains that you... Oh.
No, he didn't realize. He just kept on going.
Yeah,
you have half the brain that you do.
I wish he would have been like, I have half the brains that you do. Darn.
No, he just kept going. Meanwhile, Kevin Nash, who was behind a mask, were just
dying,
cracking up in the ring.
They're dying. It was...
Yeah, just like our time is. So we're going to go take care of that. We're going to let Nick Cataldi in here. Oh, that was harsh, but possibly accurate. Nick Cataldi pushing buttons, getting ready to do country music. He's got that coming your way. We've got high school football doubleheader coming up later today, including your Falcons this evening.
Well, they're not my Falcons, but I'm a part of it, yeah.
Well, you go to Pennsbury. You're
Yeah.
Trying to give your school some pub.
The school's got plenty of pub. I don't think they want me as the figurehead for it. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't think that would be the best. Yeah, give the
in the same way that I don't want you as the figurehead for Pro Wrestling Weekly. That's our show, folks. We'll be back next week with more pre-recorded hilarity as I'll be on vacation. Stay tuned. Nick Cataldi's next.
Will you be serious?
1490 WBCB, Levittown, Fairless Hills, Trenton.